There is a room on Earth built to be perfectly silent, but it does the opposite to the human mind. Instead of calm, it creates anxiety. Instead of peace, it triggers hallucinations. People walk out dizzy, shaking, or overwhelmed by how loud the world feels the moment they leave. This is the Anechoic chamber at Orfield Laboratories in Minneapolis. The quietest place ever recorded. A room measured at around -9 decibels. A silence so deep it falls below the threshold of human hearing itself. A silence that doesn't soothe the mind. It dismantles it. To understand how extreme that is, consider this. A quiet library sits at 40 decibels. A whisper is 20 decibels. Normal breathing is 10 decibels. But below 0 decibels, you enter a world the human ear wasn't designed to experience. In this chamber, silence becomes a pressure. Your brain searches for something to process and finds nothing. That's where the unraveling begins. The chamber doesn't look dangerous at all. Just a cube inside another building, built with thick concrete and floating on its own system of spring isolators. Multiple steel layers seal it off from the outside world, and the walls are covered with enormous fiberglass wedges designed to swallow sound completely. Inside this room, sound doesn't bounce. It doesn't return. It simply stops existing. Once the heavy vault door closes, the outside world isn't muffled. It's erased. Visitors don't feel fear at first. They feel confusion. Your brain expects the hum of lights, the rustle of clothing, the faint echo of footsteps. But in this chamber, there is nothing. No movement, no vibration, no distant noise. The air feels dead and strangely thick. It's like stepping into a vacuum where the rules of reality quietly switch off. Within seconds, your brain begins scanning for familiar cues. Finding none, it starts listening inward. And that's when you hear things you've never noticed before. Your heartbeat, loud and forceful. Blood rushing through your veins. Joints clicking every time you move. Muscles sliding under your skin. The subtle thump of internal organs at work. These sounds are always happening, but the outside world normally hides them. Inside the chamber, your body becomes the only soundtrack. Then comes the imbalance. Humans rely on echoes far more than they realize. Echoes help us sense distance, orientation, and space. When you remove them, the brain can't tell where the walls are. People feel like they're sinking. Others feel like they're tilting sideways. Some feel like they're floating upward. Standing still becomes strangely difficult. Your brain loses its spatial anchor. But the descent deepens when the technician switches off the lights. Darkness in an anechoic chamber isn't normal darkness. Without sight or sound, your two strongest senses vanish. Deprived, the brain becomes desperate. That's when the hallucinations begin. People see flashes, shapes, and drifting shadows that don't exist. The darkness feels alive because the brain starts filling the void. Scientifically, this is sensory deprivation overload. When external input drops to zero, the brain increases its internal sensitivity to maximum. But with nothing coming in, it begins generating its own signals. It invents sights. It invents sounds. It invents information just to stay sane. This effect is known among cave explorers, submarine crews, astronauts, and polar researchers. Humans are not designed for perfect silence or endless darkness. Take away the world, and the brain manufactures its own. Then come the phantom sounds. Visitors hear whispers, footsteps, low humming, even distant music. But none of it is real. There's no airflow, no machinery, and no source of sound. Every phantom noise is produced entirely by the nervous system misfiring. Time itself becomes distorted. With no sensory markers, the brain loses track of duration. Minutes stretch out endlessly. People who stay 10 minutes swear they stayed 30. Those who attempt the 45-minute challenge say it feels like being trapped in a timeless void. Ironically, the chamber wasn't built to scare anyone. It was created for precision testing of medical devices, microphones, electronics, and quiet consumer products. A scientific tool turned psychological gauntlet. Technicians have witnessed every reaction imaginable. People freezing, people whispering without knowing why, people panicking instantly, people begging to leave within seconds. Most adults last between 10 and 20 minutes before the mind begins to break down. The longest confirmed stay is around 55 minutes, achieved with intense mental discipline. Even that person stumbled out, overwhelmed by how violently loud the real world suddenly felt. Scientists say this chamber reveals a fundamental truth. Humans think they crave silence, but not this kind. Absolute quiet is a warning sign in nature. In the wild, silence means danger. So the body enters alert mode. Heart rate rises. Breathing becomes shallow. Muscles tense. Your brain prepares for a threat that never arrives. Inside this room, you confront something unsettling. Silence doesn't calm you. It exposes you. Without the world's noise, you hear every thought you've avoided, every fear you've buried. Your own mind becomes the loudest thing in existence. Some visitors call the experience enlightening. Others find it deeply disturbing. But all agree on one truth. The chamber does not reveal silence. It reveals you. It shows how thin the line is between order and chaos inside the human brain. It shows how much we depend on noise to stay grounded. In the quietest room on earth, you don't hear the world. You hear the human condition. And that might be the loudest experience you ever have. If you enjoy scientific mysteries like this, tap the like button. And if you want more reality-breaking deep dives, make sure to subscribe and share this story. More mind-bending stories are on the way.